A lot to talk about this week, though. A lot to talk about, especially there's big news in the college football world, in the small college football world. And here to talk about it, we are joined by the Small College Insider for Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We're joined by our good buddy, Cory Hogue. Cory, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great, Greg. It's great to talk to you again.
Buddy, it's great to have you on, as always. Whenever all this news was breaking as far as A&M Commerce moving up to Division I, you were in my phone blowing me up about it, and I knew we had to get you on to break down exactly what this means. So let's talk first and foremost about A&M Commerce. We talked to Tim McMurray yesterday, the athletic director there at A&M Commerce. He kind of laid out the rules, or laid out the reasoning behind it. From your perspective, for A&M Commerce, what does this move mean for them to move up to Division I into the Southland?
First off, I think you will agree with me that we would rather than not release news like that at 6:30 on a Friday night.
Yeah, not cool, guys.
It would help us out a lot. But the thing with Commerce, I think they see the winds of change blowing. And honestly, when you look at the financials of Division I versus Division II, these teams in schools are almost unable to keep up in Division II anymore. And so I think this gives Commerce a chance to be progressive and to move forward. They saw Tarleton do it. They're both part of the A&M system. And so the A&M system seemed real progressive in this as well.
And obviously this has major impacts for two conferences as well. For the Southland, who had just lost 4 teams moving over to the WAC, the Texas 4, as well as for the Lone Star Conference, which now loses their last charter member, the last team that has been there since the beginning with A&M Commerce. So let's talk a little bit about where these two conferences stand. I guess let's start first and foremost with the Southland. What does adding a team like A&M Commerce mean for them, and are there more moves on the horizon, do you think?
I think there are. I think this process of realignment is going to take a while. We're talking another couple of years of this coming together, because the Southland was really destabilized with the movement of so many teams. Plus, Central Arkansas went ASUN, and now yesterday or earlier this week, there was talks between McNeese and UIW with the WAC, because the WAC is still looking to expand as well, and they may not want to transition school. So the Southland needs schools, and I'm hearing there's another D2 school in Oklahoma that's really close, maybe a couple of FCS schools in Texas close to making that jump as well. But what Commerce brings to them is stability, which they need so much at this time when, the winds of change. Look at the Ohio Valley Conference all across FCS right now. It's just a lot of changes, a lot of uncertainty, and this gives them a little bit more of that certainty they need.
Well, and speaking of uncertainty, we've got to talk about the Lone Star Conference, which now this feels like a huge blow to the Lone Star Conference, that now in the span of a couple of years, losing Tarleton and A&M Commerce kind of in quick succession. Where does the Lone Star Conference stand right now? And I kind of view this as something that they've got to find a way to stop the bleeding. Am I misguided in that kind of read on it?
Not at all. You hit it on the head. There's a lot of angst right now in the Lone Star Conference, not just in the conference office, but amongst some of the other schools that are kind of reading the tea leaves as well. Now the first thing Lone Star Conference has to worry about is being an AQ school for Division II, mm-hmm. and that has been requiring 8 teams in the past. So they're going to need someone. So who do they look to? I'm hearing possibility of a New Mexico Highlands, because they don't need a transitioning member to get AQ qualified. They need somebody in that. New Mexico Highlands may be the only current D2 school that would be ready to, because you got to remember, Oklahoma legislature is about to pass something they're trying to pass something to get all Division II schools in Oklahoma in one conference. So that them out of the way, out of the equation. I've heard they may be looking at the NAIA level, maybe even one team out of the American Southwest Conference that's been getting talks for the Lone Star Conference. They're in real trouble. They need some stability, but it may get worse before it gets better, because you got West Texas A&M, Midwestern State, Texas A&M Kingsville, Angelo State, UT Permian Basin. Mm-hmm. All these schools now are looking at these moves and going, we're going to have to get on this train and quick, or we're going to get left behind and may be in a conference that may not even exist in a few years.
Talking with Cory Hogue, our Small College Insider here on Texas Football Today. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag TF Today. All right, Cory, let's talk about that's all the stuff off the field. Let's talk a little bit about on the field. We're now 5 weeks into the college football season. I'm interested. There are some teams that have obviously risen to the top. I don't think it's necessarily a huge surprise that Mary Hardin-Baylor is looking good, although Hardin-Simmons certainly gave them a big surprise. Sam Houston, some of the usual suspects. Who are the teams that have surprised you, that have risen to the top, that have overachieved your expectations through the first month of the season?
One of them actually plays tonight. If you're looking, I know you guys were going through the sitting on the couch viewing schedule. Well, there's another one tonight on ESPNU. Prairie View A&M plays Arkansas Pine Bluff in a big SWAC matchup, and the Panthers have looked great. They took care of Grambling last week. They've beaten their rival Texas Southern. They're doing well in conference. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Stephen F. Austin. That's one that they continue to progress under Colby Carthel. But it's not a surprise they are. It's how well they're playing. And now they get their biggest test of the year with Sam Houston in the Battle of the Piney Woods. And then in Division II, I would say the team that surprised me the most, Midwestern State. They go on playing basically a neutral site game and a road game, back-to-back weeks, ranked teams, beating both Commerce and Angelo. That was huge. Howard Payne in Division III. Watch out for them. They've got Jason Bachtel, who was the offensive coordinator at Argyle. He brought his brother in as defensive coordinator, and they're getting good. This team is really good. They went on the road and beat a solid East Texas Baptist team last week. They're looking really solid. NAI, got to give Texas Wesleyan a shout out this year. Right now, they're looking really good. They've got a big game this week against Wayland Baptist. And Trinity Valley in JUCO, they've jumped up to number 4 after Kilgore lost last week. That defense of Trinity Valley shut down General Booty and Tyler's nation's leading passing attack last week. So the Cardinals are really a solid team.
Cory Hogue, our Small College Football Insider, joining us here on Texas Football Today. All right, Cory, there's a big doings down in Houston this week, 4 p.m. Saturday at NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the number 1 team in FCS, the defending national champion, Sam Houston, taking on their rival, Stephen F. Austin, in the Battle of the Piney Woods. Obviously, Sam Houston, as the number 1 team, I think a deserved favorite in this game. But at the same time, SFA under Colby Carthel is cooking with gas right now. Is it fair to say that we should expect a classic between these two when they get together in the Battle of Piney Woods?
I really think so. Well, I was looking at this, trying to find a way that one team blows out the other, and I can't find it. And what also makes this even more interesting is history is being made when they kick off, because it's the first time one of the two teams has held the number 1 ranking entering that contest. So that's huge already. That only adds to the Lumberjacks' fire. And there's a few questions I have. I know, SFA's been great at forcing turnovers. They've got 8 interceptions. Sam Houston's been great against the run. But I think the real pressing question is, if SFA pulls off this surprise, exactly how many layers of clothes will Colby Carthel have left on the field at the end?
Many people are wondering. Many people are wondering. The last question for our buddy Cory Hogue. Cory, I'm looking at your Twitter here. People can follow Cory on Twitter at Cory Hogue Sports. And I'm seeing your son here. I'm seeing your son Gabe. And of course playing soccer. Great goal, great team goal there. I got to be honest. I think his celebration game is top tier. Has this been something you guys have been working on at home as far as the celebration on the pitch? Because that feels like an integral part of what he's bringing to the pitch these days.
No, it's not, but I couldn't be more proud. First off, kicks it under soccer, and he's on the outside watching everybody else do the work. And then when they score the goal, he goes into one of the most epic celebrations. Zach Duncan, he texted me, he said, man, this is so great, because he went from airplane to windmill to the celebration. It's really next level stuff. I couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Make sure you go and follow Cory on Twitter at Cory Hogue Sports for that kind of stuff. I guess also some small college football if you're into that kind of thing. But of course, we are. He's Cory Hogue, our small college insider here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Cory, appreciate your time and your insights, my man, and enjoy the action this weekend.
Hey, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. What a great schedule. You guys have a good one.
Take care, Cory. There he goes, Cory Hogue, our small college insider here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, joining us here on Texas Football Today. A wealth of knowledge in the small college ranks, and
he's one of those guys you could just listen to talk about that stuff forever.
Well, there are real parallels between him and Stepp.
Mm-hmm.
A, they both work here, obviously.
There's one.
But B, like you went to journalism school, right?
I did.
I went to journalism school. Like we are like classically trained, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cory's just a grinder who's like, this is awesome and I just really want to get into it. Yeah. And then he's just like carved out this awesome role for himself where he is like the number one source of small college football in the state of Texas, which is super cool. And he knows it inside and out, so make sure you go follow him on Twitter, and then you can see his fine work at texasfootball.com. He's got a small college preview up right now if you want to see his big preview of SFA and Sam Houston and all other things like that. So texasfootball.com, and follow him on Twitter at Cory Hogue Sports. Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at texasfootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out texasfootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at texasfootball.com/subscribe.